very early in the history of Apple computers, Steve Jobs got a great lesson in how to influence. He was trying to convince Steve Wozniak, who was his co-founder in Apple, to leave his job at Hewlett-Packard as an engineer to work full-time in the founding of this company, because he was seeing a huge and big opportunity and felt the need for both of these people to commit all their time and all their physical energy into the Apple project. And he really wasn't making any progress because Steve Wozniak was standing his ground and he was saying, nah, he wants to do that on the side, but he wants to keep his full-time job at Hewlett-Packard. And Steve Jobs tried every technique on earth. He yelled at him, he cried with him, he went to his father, to Steve Wozniak's father, and kind of broke in tears in front of him to talk to him about this missed opportunity that was there in front of them. And sure enough, his father was convinced enough to really push Steve Wozniak. He had many of Steve Wozniak's friends and other members of his family call him to talk to him about, quit HP and go and do the startup. It's like an awesome opportunity. But there was no progress being made there, no progress at all. Until one day, one of their friends, their mutual friends, called up Steve Wozniak and said, Steve, what's going on? What is it that you really want from your current job at HP? And what is it that you're feeling unhappy and uncomfortable about in going and doing a full-time, kind of pursuit of this Apple opportunity? And Steve Wozniak said, look, I, like to be an engineer. I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be like throwing my weight around with other people. I just want to be an engineer. And this friend tells Steve, he says, listen, that is perfectly fine. You can be a co-founder and you can be, just an engineer at Apple. You don't really have to be a manager and a leader. Just play your role. Just do what you like to do. And Wozniak says that was the turning point for him. When he realized that actually just because he was founding this company didn't mean that he had to kind of throw his weight around and have authority and kind of command and lead other people. He could still be the engineer he always wanted to be. And that's how he ultimately quit his job at HP and joined Steve Jobs in the full-time pursuit of their Apple dream. It's a perfect testimony to the importance when you're seeking to influence someone, to understand their values, to understand what's important to them, and then to play to that, to address and find and forge a solution, a path forward that addresses their needs, not just pushes your agenda. And this was a moment where the community of people around Steve Jobs finally struck gold by identifying what that core need was with Steve Wozniak, but not before there was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and toil.